From the Charles River Basin between Boston and Cambridge, this is the Ivy League Digital Network, and today we have the women's rowing beanpot to kick off the spring season for Radcliffe crew. Radcliffe, Boston College, Northeastern, MIT, and BU going head-to-head in 5 races, starting with 4th Varsity, which will be between just Radcliffe and Boston College. Then all 5 teams will take place in 3rd Varsity, Varsity 8, 2nd Varsity, and Varsity 4 the rest of the way. Getting the Boston College and Radcliffe boats aligned for this varsity, 4th Varsity race. Running you through the lineups for each side. For Radcliffe, Maria Stosha is the coxswain. Emily Gaudiani is the stroke. Senior Danielle Pfeffer is in seat 7. Rachel Milam, a junior, is in seat 6. The newest member of Radcliffe crew, Jill Sikora, is in lane number 5. Elizabeth Ashford, a freshman, is in lane number 4. Junior Molly Moore in lane number 3. Allison Steinbach in lane number 2. She's a freshman. Seat number 2, and in that bow seat is freshman Grace Wagner. Meanwhile, for Boston College, Eagles actually started their season last week down in Philadelphia. Got a couple of second places and a couple of wins in races against St. Joe's, Penn, and Temple. The coxswain for Boston College is freshman Lauren Hansford. In that stroke seat, Elizabeth Calder, a sophomore, in seat number 7, Gretchen Ray. Seat number 6, sophomore Haley Bauer. Seat number 5, freshman Sophie Spencer. Seat number 4 is sophomore Victoria Mulkern. Sophomore Jacqueline McDonald's in seat number 3. Seat number 2, sophomore Megan Leiden. And the bow is freshman Suzanne Schultz. Very young boat for Boston College. And for Harvard, a mix of freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors for the Radcliffe black and white. Have alignments about set to go in our first race of 5 today. Radcliffe is in lane number 3, the bottom of your picture. Boston College in lane number 4, the top of your picture. Moments away, and here we go. First couple of strokes. Again, Radcliffe ushered by coxswain Maria Stosha, and Boston College by coxswain Lauren Hansford. Radcliffe enters the season ranked 18th in the country. They are 7-1 all-time in the Beanpot. Boston College, again, split last weekend, losing to Penn, but beating St. Joseph's and Temple. Relatively calm Charles River conditions on the early morning here. Temperature just tickling about 40 degrees. Pretty even in the early going. Opening strokes for Radcliffe and Boston College. In our 4th varsity race, all day long we'll be profiling Radcliffe seniors. And in varsity 4, senior Danielle Pfeffer from Boalsburg, Pennsylvania. Been a member of the team the last few years, was a member of the 3rd Varsity 8 most of last season. 3rd in the Ivy League 3rd Varsity. She's also a member of Dunster House and a human development and regenerative biology major. Throughout the first 300 meters of 2000, we are still neck and neck, Radcliffe and Boston College. Throughout the day, I'll be trying to give you the stroke counts as well. Harvard stroking about 34 strokes per minute at the moment. Radcliffe black and white. Boston College again just inching slightly in front. Radcliffe coached by Liz O'Leary and Boston College by Steve Fisk. BC was 6th at the ACC championships last year. Again, last season, Radcliffe's varsity 8 boat, which returns 6 rowers, was 6th back in the fall during the foot of the Charles, 19th during the head of the Charles. Black and white came in 12th at the NCAAs last year, 4th in the Ivy League. Ohio State, your early season #1 again. They've won the championship the last couple of seasons. BC inching slightly out in front. Approaching about 750 meters of the 2000. Again, this is the 4th varsity race, first of 5 races today. 4th varsity, then 3rd varsity, then 1st varsity, 2nd varsity, and we'll round things out with varsity 4. Most of the members of this Boston College 4th varsity boat rode last weekend as members of the 3rd varsity boat, which won both of its races. They beat Penn in St. Joe's in the morning. They beat Temple in the afternoon down on the Schuylkill River outside of Philadelphia. And for Radcliffe, this is their first race after a long winter, though nowhere near as long as last year's winter on the Charles, where the river froze completely over last winter. This winter, much more seasonable. Approaching the midway point here, right at the 1,000-meter mark. BC is inched out to about a 6-seat lead. Radcliffe's boat stroked by Emily Gaudiani. Boston College's boat stroked by Elizabeth Calder. She's a sophomore. For BC, this boat, all freshmen and sophomores. 4 freshmen and 5 sophomores. Cox and a freshman, Lauren Hansford. For Radcliffe, again, a good mix. You have the senior Danielle Pfeffer, juniors Emily Gaudiani, Rachel Milam, and Molly Moore. And then you have freshmen in the boat as well with Allison Steinbach and Grace Wagner. And then Jill Sikirka is the newest member of the team. She joined over the winter, former member of the Harvard lacrosse team before joining the Radcliffe rowing program. BC starting to get a bit of open water between the Eagles boat and that of the black and white. Radcliffe sitting right now around 32 strokes a minute as the Eagles create some separation. Boston College has picked up its clip a bit. Clocked them over the last 10 strokes at 34 strokes per minute. Boston College swept Temple in all 4 races last weekend, and again took 2nd place ahead of St. Joe's, behind Penn in a morning-afternoon doubleheader down in Philadelphia. So they have already shaken off their rust and their first race jitters. Radcliffe doing that here early with this 4th varsity race as Boston College continues to expand that lead inside of the final 300 meters. The Eagles building toward the finishing bluff. Crowd lining the banks of the Charles on the Cambridge side. On a chilly day, good crowd all bundled up along the riverway. Last couple hundred meters for Boston College, with open water ahead of Radcliffe in this 4th varsity race. Coming up next, we'll have the 3rd varsity. MIT, Northeastern, and BU will jump into the mix as well. And remember, this Eagles 4th varsity boat raced as the 3rd varsity last week. They kept the same 8 rowers together, and they seem to be churned in a very good rhythm. An impressive start for Boston College today as they approach the final 100 meters. Black and white trying to finish strong as well. So they've gained a bit of ground over the last 50 meters. Radcliffe continuing to churn strong. Final few strokes for Boston College as they kick off the day with an impressive wire-to-wire fourth varsity start, and the Eagles take the fourth varsity race. Boston College ahead of Radcliffe as Radcliffe crosses as well. Give BC about an 8-second win in the fourth varsity 8. So Eagles start off the first of 5 races today with a W.